What's up, everyone? Early morning today. Had a busy weekend. Hope you all had a great weekend. We're back today with yet another Clan Boss Takeover on this account. I've done quite a few of these. We're going to probably look at a Myth-Air variant team and use Myth-Tuhanarak instead of Harris. And right now, the team is actually not that bad. But we're going to go ahead and make the change, see what we can do, how we can do it. The Myth-Air team, you really need some good gear and some pretty strong champions in order to get to a 1-key Ultra Nightmare. With a Fu Myth team, because Fushan does a ton of damage, you can definitely look at Fushan adding in, anywhere from 20 to 30 million, if not more. And then you have your damage dealer separate to Fushan, who can deal, hopefully, another 20 to 30 million, if not more. If you're looking at two damage dealers dealing about 30 million each, you're already at 60. You need another 10 million amongst your three champions. Seeker does some pretty good damage. And then Harris and Demitha, even if you can get 5 mil each out of them and another 10, 15 mil out of Seeker, you're well into a 1-key territory. With an Eris team, though, you're going to have Deacon, who's not going to put out much, so your damage dealer really needs to put out a ton of damage. And it needs to be, poisons and or burns, decreased defense, weaken. Like, you're going to need to have some pretty good stats on there. And a champ that can do that. Because you're going to have, Harris, who does your increased speed and cleanse and counterattacking, figure anywhere from 5 to 10 million. You're going to have Deacon, who really only puts out the increased turn meters, hits like a wet noodle, probably going to get anywhere from 5 to 10 million. Seeker, you should be getting 10 plus million out of him. You have Demitha, who only really hits once every turn because she's doing the extending and the blocking, which doesn't do damage. So her A1's really the only skill that actually does damage. She's going to be putting out 5-ish mil. And then you're going to have your DD as your last. So what we're going to do is look into the team. Let's see what we can do. Let's snoop around to see how we look. Not really a great start, focusing on accuracy. The way I did it, I actually was one of those rare few that really focused on attack. And then secondly, crit damage. But that allowed me, as I got towards later game, to already have these done. So as I started focusing on my clan boss team, I was looking at 20% attack on my main damage dealer, which in my case was Dracomorph or Narma. Accuracy can work. The good thing about accuracy is once you have it maxed out, that's almost a banner. You're 16 off of a level 6 banner. You're actually more than a level 5 banner for accuracy. So this allows more flexibility in your gear when you do max out this. So there's a good start. Well, let's actually see what the current team does. So say almost 65 million with a team like this. So this is clearly a killable team, which is pretty darn cool to see. Okay, we got a 3-star Deacon here, which is going to be helpful for our Demitha team. We got Myth-Tuhanarak already ready to go. Might change that blessing. We'll see. And then you got, 3 champions here. Geo's always great. I don't like using Geo anymore in a clan boss team, although he's a rock star. If you got 5 or 6 Geos, he's one of the champions that are actually worth building out. I think I have 3 fully built Geomancers, 2 that are quick, speedy, and relentless, and I use them both for Hydra and other content, and then 1 strictly for Iron Twins. That's bare minimum masteries, not even full masteries, but he is worth it. If you're gonna want to put 1 here, you're gonna have to have him real slow, and real slow Geomancer doesn't work for other content. So you might want to have an extra one. Then we got Ninja and Lanicus, so we got the ally attacks. We got Ninja and Geo putting out some pretty good damage. The only thing I don't like here is Ninja overrides Geo's burn. So if Geo puts out a burn and then Ninja burns afterwards, Geo's not reflecting, at which point makes Geo useless. But to have 65 million on a team like this is pretty darn cool. So clearly a one key for Nightmare, but hasn't hit. He's always a 2 key with the exact same team for Ultra Nightmare. So let's see what we're working with here. So we have Tuhanarak already. Less damage when stunned. This is a pretty useless buff. I would actually put Brimstone on her. The benefit about Brimstone is, so you want Brimstone on this boss, you're going to get anywhere from like 5+ million damage more out of Brimstone. Every cycle, so every 3 turns, if you have Brimstone up, you're landing an extra 500k. Over those, what is it? What's the math? So you're looking at about 8 million damage if you can keep Brimstone up the whole fight throughout the boss, because it's going to trigger twice, putting out 500k per cycle. 16 cycles gives you about 16, 17 cycles to get you to the end. So yeah, you're looking at it like easily 5 to 8 million more damage just to get Brimstone on. So I'm going to take this off and get Brimstone. I very well might actually pull Ninja out of the team. We'll see. Ninja is a little fishy, but I see a Draco here, and I'm definitely going to have Draco in on this team. Reason why: A, he puts out a ton of damage. B, he brings that decreased defense and weaken on the skill. He brings the poisons and that huge damage. I'm also going to put him into Brimstone. So now we have 2 champions on the team that can dish out Brimstone, which makes it better. We have our Seeker with Crushing Rend. What do we got here? We can throw a blessing onto Mytha. So since the Mytha doesn't have one, fully booked. And then who are we missing? We got our Deacon here, level 3. Okay, he's in Cruelty. Perfect. So we don't need to put Mytha in Cruelty. And now he's got 10%. So that's pretty darn good. Good job on that move. And then our last champion I already talked about is Harris. So we're going to get Brimstone on both, which is good that we can switch. Here's the thing. If you can get a level 6 Brimstone on one of your champions, which is a 100% chance to land Smite, then you can pull Brimstone off of another champion. So if you have 2 champions with Brimstone, it renders itself useless. Now, in this case here, I would try to max out Tuhanarak's Brimstone because she's a defense-based champion. What you want is, but if I can land and pull a level 5 or a level 6 Brimstone, then I will absolutely switch my blessings out for something more attack on the other damage dealer. Something more attack-based, and then go from there. So we have the champs, we have the masteries, we have the skills. So now, the one thing and the one issue with a team like this is typically when you have Harris on your team, she's a force-based champion, which means she's going to be taking the stun when the boss goes Spirit. So what you need to do is replace Dracomorph with another force-based champion, put them on the team higher in order than Harris, so that other champion can take the hit. But you're putting virtually a weak affinity champion in to take a stun, to take it away from Harris, because if Harris takes the stun, she can't cleanse. In this case, we have a void-based affinity cleanser. And being that she's void-based, she's going to less likely take the stun over any of our other champions, because we have... The only one we don't have is a force-based champion on this team. So when the boss goes Spirit, it's going to stay away from Seeker and Dracomorph because they're strong affinity. And it's going to go through either Myth-Tuhanarak or the lead, which is Deacon, being neutral affinity, for all three. So most likely, with Tuhanarak being such high defense, because she's a defense-based champion and that's how she dishes her damage, the boss ain't going to hit her. At which point, we should be good for all affinities, and therefore a one key or a one team setup. Versus if you go Harris, you need to have two different teams, one with the extra force champion, which is automatically a 2 key. You can't get a 1 key when you're having 2 weak affinity DDs on the team, right? So we got our champs. Masteries could be better. We're going to fix this team up as best as we can, and let's see what we can do. All right, everyone. Changed up the team. Only took me about an hour, hour and a half, and about, I kind of feel bad, about 25 mil silver, but I feel like this is going to be a heck of a lot better team than what he had before. Before he was 2 keying. I'm going to see how close we can get to 71 mil, albeit boss is on magic, so on void it might be a little different. So what we are going to do is set up our team with the calculator, but we're going to need Deacon in the lead for the speed aura. Order does somewhat matter. I'm going to have Seeker. If Seeker takes a stun, it's not the end of the world. Draco takes a stun, it's not the end of the world. We want to cleanse that off right away. And then we're going to put Demitha and then Tuhanarak in. Just because turn order does matter. Boss does stun based on order. We'll start with the lead. Team setup wise, so Deacon 186 in perception. So we're actually going to open Deacon with an A1 and then prioritize the A2, because what we want is that A3 to go third. So we want the A3 to be on a 2-turn delay. And this way it's going to make it full auto. Seeker, we're going to open with an A1 and then prioritize. So we want a 1-turn delay on Seeker. Draco, we want that A3 right away, and then the poison, so that we get the decreased defense and weaken out, because we're delaying it with Deacon. So just that little bit more damage a little bit sooner. And then once we get into sync, every other turn, Draco's going to put that A3 up first. So that'll work. Demitha is basically straight auto. So we're going to start with that A3 and then move into the A2. So we're going to start with the block and then go into the extend after Tuhanarak. And then Tuhanarak, we're actually going to turn off this A2 because that's extra debuffs that are going to land on this boss that we don't care for. And then we're only going to prioritize that A1 to get that increased speed out right away. And that's it. Start on full auto, and we will we'll let it run and see where it goes. And we'll catch you all towards the end. Hopefully it works.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, some loose shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah, there's There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions, each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
That's it, the end of the song. Next time you'll sing along. Trust me, there's nothing wrong, I just need to carry on. Cause society's a myth, put there to make you sit. Listen to what they give, don't ask questions, shut your lid. Yeah, don't ask questions, shut your lid. I need to run away from this and go get off the grid. Feel like my brain is overloaded, man, I'm losing it. Don't let them tell you what to do, man, they don't know shit.
All right, so there we have it. I know he's going to be ecstatic. I think we increased damage on this team by at least 20 to 30 million, if not more. If you're doing 65 on Nightmare, you're probably doing at least 50, if not less, on Ultra Nightmare. And now we're at 81 million, albeit it is magic. So a lot of these are, you know, Draco and Seeker are neutral. If he hits Void, it should be roughly the same, to be honest. Deacon is weak affinity at 7 million, which is okay. You know, he's putting out the level 2, so 10% decreased defense on the boss with blessings. We have Seeker doing 16 million, which is great. You can always, none of these champions are glyphed, so we can always increase that. Draco doing, you know, close to 40 as expected. This Draco actually might do more damage than mine. Demitha, as expected, only 5 million with that bonus damage, and then 14 million on Tuhanarak. We got double Brimstone as options, Crushing Rend, which helps a little bit on Seeker with the damage. Really, if that gets to level 6, the Seeker's going to be putting out quite a bit of damage. And there you have it, 82 million. Took 23 minutes. We still have room to improve on some of our champions with masteries. And then on top of that, the one thing that I didn't mention is revenge accessories. And then if we can also get revenge accessories on all our champions, we'll be able to counterattack and get that those damages more. There you have it. There is still room for improvement. I mean, almost 82 million on that team is pretty darn decent. Tuhanarak is actually pretty darn good as well as a champion. So hope you enjoyed. Hope you took something from there. Some key points. No turn meter masteries. Okay, you cannot take any of them. Increase or decrease. Like, just stay away from them. That's what's going to make your team bust. Stay within the ranges. Again, if you go on Deadwood Jedi's website, you'll see the ranges of the champions. If you're somewhat in between, you're good. When you're putting on perception, your true speed does change a little bit. If you're sticking to the speeds that we listed in this video, you should be fine. It clearly worked here. It should work for you. As long, again, as you're not deviating from the masteries, from the gear, and you're making sure that champs are in order and that they're selected. One of the main comments I get in my videos is, it doesn't work for me. There's 1,001 different reasons why. One speed, just one, even a half a speed, would change the composition altogether. So it's important to be exact. Run it through the calculator. And good luck. Catch you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.